Donald Trump in 2017 visited and encountered Pope Francis, and his protective team was astounded by what lay beneath those vibrant Renaissance outfits. The Swiss Guard hides a deadly cadre of elite operatives with marksman skills, anti-terrorism drills, and a sacred pledge to perish for the pontiff. It's just one of 10 astounding revelations about the planet's tiniest yet most enigmatic army that's shielded popes for more than 5 centuries. 10. The ancient oath of loyalty, the timeless vow of allegiance. This one may sound familiar, but there's a chilling layer few truly grasp. Each member of the Swiss Guard pledges an oath to quite literally give their life for the Pope, and it's far from symbolic. On May 6 every year, fresh inductees press their left palm against the Swiss Guard standard, lift their right hand with 3 fingers raised, representing the Holy Trinity, and declare this haunting pledge: I swear to faithfully, loyally, and honorably serve the Supreme Pontiff and his rightful successors, dedicating myself fully, even offering my life if required, for their protection. What elevates this vow isn't only the readiness to perish, it's that across the ages, they've done just that. In 1527, 147 guards were massacred defending Pope Clement VII during the Siege of Rome. Merely 42 endured, creating a legacy of blood that secured their legendary image. But what many overlook is that this oath isn't just a relic, it's deeply intimate. During my conversations with ex-guards, many recounted a spiritual shift after reciting that vow. One explained, from that instant, your life is no longer your own. Your mission becomes singular. Consider that level of devotion in today's fragmented world. Young men, often in their 20s, devote themselves in an era when faithfulness is rare. Unlike standard armed forces, this pledge isn't just patriotic, it's a divine covenant. 9. Beyond the colorful uniforms, more than just a regal attire. Those recognizable blue, crimson, and gold ensembles seen in countless images. They're not merely decorative garb, they're historical statements with a remarkable origin. Most onlookers presume they were crafted long ago by Vatican designers. The real story: Michelangelo himself envisioned them. That's right, the same genius behind the Sistine Chapel designed these iconic uniforms during the Renaissance era. The most astonishing detail: each suit comprises 154 distinct parts, takes 32 hours of intricate hand stitching, and costs beyond $8,000 to assemble. The Guard's chief tailor produces just 50 outfits annually, each tailored precisely. The palette isn't arbitrary either. Blue and gold trace back to Pope Julius II, the Guard's founder in 1506, while red was later added to honor Clement VII's blood spilled in Rome's siege. What many guests never witness are the ornate helmets, authentic Renaissance armor preserved for generations. Some chest plates and helms still used on special days date to the 1500s, making them living relics. Even more surprising, these flamboyant uniforms are functional for combat. Billowy sleeves can hide weapons, tall collars shield vital neck arteries, and the loose cut allows swift maneuvering when urgency strikes. Next time you catch a glimpse of these vivid outfits, remember, they're not costumes, but warfare-ready gear, conceptualized by a master artist, sewn with couture precision, and balanced for both tradition and threat response. 8. Elite combat training, world-class warrior training. Beneath their poised stances and seemingly ornamental gear is a startling truth: the Swiss Guard receives some of the toughest combat conditioning anywhere. Forget the postcard image of still sentries with halberds. Before applying, each recruit must already have fulfilled Swiss national service, and that's only the starting line. Once enrolled, they undergo an intensive, month-long hand-to-hand combat course with Swiss Special Forces, the same elite teams that confront global terror threats. This isn't routine sparring, it's expert-level conditioning in neutralizing armed dangers amid crowds. One former soldier revealed, "We practiced disabling attackers wielding knives hidden in tourist throngs. We trained to spot suicide bombers and learned to form human barriers instantly." Training encompasses close quarters defense in full uniform, mastery of hidden firearms, multilingual crowd analysis, trauma response for assassination attempts, and anti-surveillance strategies. What makes it distinct is context. Unlike military units in war zones, these guards must react in public spaces filled with civilians at one of the globe's holiest destinations. The most sobering part: they rehearse for the outcome they hope never arises, trading their lives to preserve the popes. As one instructor bluntly put it, "We don't train them to survive an assault. We teach them to guarantee the pope lives, even if they fall." These aren't just ceremonial figures. They're trained hawks, scanning crowds, detecting oddities, ready to pivot from silent guardians to deadly sentinels in seconds. 7. The strict selection criteria. At only about 135 members strong, the Swiss Guard is the smallest standing army on Earth. Yet earning a place within it is more demanding than joining many national military forces. It's the smallest army with one of the toughest entry bars. First, you must be a single Swiss Catholic male between 19 and 30 years old, at least 5 feet 8 inches, and have completed basic training in the Swiss Army. But that's just the initial screening. Candidates must also hold a spotless background, present high moral standing, and secure recommendations from parish priests and local bishops. During evaluation, they undergo psychological profiling, stress interviews, and moral fortitude assessments. Why? Because the Guard isn't only a military unit, it's a moral symbol. Recruits must embody the Vatican's values and be trusted implicitly in the Pope's proximity. Those accepted are plunged into a hybrid lifestyle, part monastic, part military. They must learn Latin prayers, Vatican protocol, and how to handle sacred relics alongside modern combat drills. They're also required to abstain from scandalous behavior, maintain traditional Catholic values, and, until 2019, had to remain unmarried during their service. The rule has since softened, but only senior members may marry and must do so within Vatican grounds. This blend of ascetic commitment, elite training, and unwavering loyalty makes them among the most selectively chosen protectors on the planet. To don the colorful uniform isn't just a title, it's a declaration of elite discipline and sacred service. 6. Hidden firearms and secret weapons. Though they're halberds, those medieval axe spears, are iconic, the Swiss Guards are anything but outdated when it comes to armaments. Behind the historical appearance lies a cache of sophisticated, contemporary weaponry. Covert modern weaponry is hidden beneath the pageantry appearance of the Guards. Each Guard is extensively trained with state-of-the-art firearms, including Sig Sauer pistols and Heckler & Koch submachine guns, many of which remain hidden under capes or within nearby stations. While stationed, Guards keep concealed radios in constant connection with a high-tech command hub within Vatican walls. In the event of a threat, within seconds, reinforcements armed with precision rifles and ballistic protection emerge from hidden corridors around St. Peter's Square, often unnoticed by pilgrims and tourists. These aren't theatrical flourishes. Every action is choreographed with military precision and discretion. One former Guard revealed that some uniforms even feature specially stitched compartments to house compact sidearms, tasers, or blades. Our presence is symbolic, but our response is immediate, he noted. In fact, their silent coordination with the Vatican Gendarmerie, the city-state's civilian police force, allows them to triangulate threats faster than many national police systems. So while the surface appears bound by ritual, beneath it lies a potent, modern defense mechanism, a fusion of centuries-old loyalty and cutting-edge readiness. They may march in Renaissance attire, but when danger strikes, they respond like a modern paramilitary force. 5. The Vatican's emergency protocols. What transpires if a high-profile assassination attempt or militant assault unfolds during a papal liturgy, with tens of thousands of onlookers in attendance? The Vatican possesses an ultra-confidential suite of emergency directives, and the Swiss Guard stands at its core. Among the most extreme of these is internally dubbed Protocol X. Though only limited specifics are known, insiders have portrayed it as a complex, multi-tiered strategy incorporating rapid extraction, mass crowd immobilization, and immediate tactical retaliation. Should a legitimate threat be identified, select Guards assemble to form a living barricade around the Holy Father, encasing him with their bodies as others rush him through concealed, antiquated tunnels interlinking various Vatican compounds. Yes, the Vatican harbors catacombs. These ancient stone corridors, conceived during the Renaissance period, were originally constructed for clandestine movement and remain vital emergency exits even now. In parallel, covert agents stationed within the crowd begin actively identifying further dangers while Vatican and Italian security forces coordinate to barricade every access point to the city-state. The full sequence is drilled routinely, most often during the night hours after pilgrims have cleared out. The Swiss Guard rehearses everything from sniper disruption strategies to chemical warfare responses. In fact, during major papal assemblies, at least one Guard is certified in nuclear, biological, and chemical NBC threat management for potential mass casualty contingencies. In past interviews, former high-ranking officers have disclosed that Vatican City can initiate a full lockdown in under 60 seconds. Just envision that, an entire autonomous micro-nation sealed tighter than a vault in under a minute. That's not merely precision, it's a sobering testament to the unwavering vigilance surrounding the Pope's security. 4. Papal bodyguards in disguise. Most imagine the Swiss Guard as those clad in flamboyant Renaissance attire. However, several of the Pope's closest defenders don't sport any uniforms. Dispersed among the Vatican masses are elite protectors in civilian clothing, outfitted with discreet earpieces and merging effortlessly with the devout. These are dubbed the Guardia Secreta, assigned to safeguard the Pope during his most exposed instances. In contrast to the conspicuous sentries who perform ceremonial duties, these covert personnel accompany the Pope wherever he travels, aboard aircraft, in convoys, and even within the Popemobile. Many possess expertise in hand-to-hand combat, or former operatives from Swiss intelligence, and are fluent in numerous languages, enabling them to detect danger instantaneously. They are subjected to mental evaluations, lie detector screenings, and rigorous emergency response drills before being entrusted with this mission. Their preferred weapon, sleek handguns with customized ammunition engineered to incapacitate without unintended casualties. They're conditioned to unholster and discharge from hidden stances in less than a second, frequently while physically shielding the Pope. These agents also function as his close assistants, merging protection with tactful presence. What sets them apart isn't merely their capabilities, it's their invisibility. Most tourists within the Vatican won't ever spot them, yet they're constantly observing, continuously monitoring, and eternally poised to act. As one ex-security director at the Vatican remarked, the most lethal figure in a gathering might be the one who appears the kindest. But the most formidable guardian is the one who remains unseen. 3. Secret Intelligence Network. Though they're often seen as ceremonial protectors, select members of the Swiss Guard receive specialized instruction in counterintelligence. Espionage training is part of the package. With the Vatican being a prime target for political manipulation and religious infiltration, their role subtly overlaps with covert operations. Guards stationed near the Apostolic Palace are trained to detect wiretaps, tailing, or unusual movement patterns among visitors. Some undertake silent observation duties during high-level meetings, noting body language shifts or code phrases that may indicate a breach. In certain cases, they act as silent intermediaries between the Pope and intelligence allies across Europe. One Vatican insider stated, "There are guards who know more about espionage than some NATO officers. But they'll never show it." Their fluency in multiple languages, German, French, Italian, Latin, isn't just for hospitality, it's for decoding overheard conversations and recognizing linguistic cues of potential plots. Moreover, they collaborate discreetly with the Vatican Gendarmerie, who oversees cybersecurity and global data interception. This alliance ensures that any spiritual threat is also met with tactical clarity. Their cassocks may be historic, but their gaze is sharper than ever. 2. The hidden oath and the kill clause. Every year on May 6th, incoming Swiss Guards swear a vow of allegiance to the Pope, and while the ritual is open to the public, the entire pledge isn't disclosed. Behind sealed doors, new members are informed of a secretive condition referred to informally as the kill clause. Though never documented on paper, this directive is preserved through oral tradition and private instruction. It obligates the guards to protect the Pope with their lives, but beyond that, it grants them the ethical justification to employ deadly force against any peril, even if it requires taking lives within hallowed grounds. As recounted by former members, this isn't merely symbolic bravado. During drills, they're instructed, if the Supreme Pontiff faces danger, do not pause. Act first, act decisively. This creed is instilled through aggressive training involving battle simulations and real ammo exercises that mimic surprise assaults, suicide bomber threats, and active shooter situations. What's unsettling is how composed the guards are about this duty. They're conditioned not only to engage, but to lay down their lives, to position themselves between the Pope and harm without hesitation. Trainees are impressed with the belief that their bodies serve as barriers, their existence a price for the Pontiff's safety. A former commander summarized the outlook like this: the Pope walks in serenity because we are willing to march through flames. And if you're curious, yes, strategies exist for a final defense within Vatican boundaries. Should the enclave face a full-on invasion, the Swiss Guard retreats to a specific stronghold, a reinforced bunker beneath the Apostolic Palace where they'd mount a final resistance with secured doors, stockpiled weapons, and unwavering courage. It's a nightmare scenario they pray won't happen, but they rehearse for it. They're prepared. 1. The Vatican's Apocalypse Protocol. At the pinnacle of the Swiss Guard's most classified records rests a procedure dubbed the Shepherd's Shield. It's a contingency strategy, triggered solely if the Pope is murdered, abducted, or if the Vatican experiences total disintegration. For generations, it was little more than speculation among ecclesiastical scholars. But in 2022, leaked revelations substantiated its reality. The strategy includes a fortified site beyond Vatican borders, presumed to be nestled in the Swiss Alps, where the church's surviving leadership would be flown by chopper under the protection of the Swiss Guard. There, they'd reconvene, appoint a successor if required, and sustain the church's functions away from public scrutiny. It's the ecclesiastical counterpart of a national emergency blueprint, and the Swiss Guard would oversee the entire procedure. The Shepherd's Shield additionally details how the Vatican's bullion stockpiles would be relocated, how coded messaging would be upheld with global Catholic officials, and how fabricated intelligence would be circulated to mislead adversaries. The Pope's confidential files, sacred artifacts, and even genetic material are allegedly included in the scheme, kept in secure containers to deter forgery or tampering. But here's the real bombshell. Some argue this protocol may have already been enacted, discreetly, amid past emergencies. The 1981 shooting of John Paul II, the unexplained passing of Pope John Paul I, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Pope Francis vanished briefly from the spotlight, were fragments of the shield set in motion. No one confirms, but the Swiss Guard is aware, and they remain silent. A concluding thought would therefore suggest that they may look like figures from a Renaissance painting, but make no mistake, the Swiss Guard ranks among the most distinguished, discreet, and steadfast security units on the planet. Behind each polite grin at a Vatican entrance stands a warrior prepared to strike, or perish, for the figure they revere as Il Santo Padre.